And I think, yeah, we are recording to the cloud. Hello, everybody. Great to see familiar faces. I see Coral. I see Mark. I see Gail. I see Mandy. I see Cyril. I see Lindsay. I see Sandy. I see Daisy, Khaled, Linda, Robin, Nancy, Evelyn Smith, Ego, Nicola, Richard. Oh, wow. Quite a few names. Emma, Ali, Neil, Madam Chop Chop, Koila, Bill, Jamie, and of course, the seer, Adrian G. Welcome, everybody. Today is Tuesday, the 19th of January, 2021. And I just, what it's going to be, because we're in the third week of January, right? It's a reminder session. So the title of this general session is Reminders. If we recall, on the 30th of December, I kind of like gave us a list of questions to go through where we were comparing the version of ourselves in 2019 December versus 2020 December. And I said, what 3 words would your best mate use to describe you? And if that was true from one year to the other, or if you felt you had done better. And then I said, the flip side of that, what 3 words would they say were your weak areas that you had to work on, right? That if you did those. And my question was, what are you going to do to make sure the weaknesses don't show up in 2021? And what are you going to do to make sure the strengths or, better levels of those strengths show up in 2021? And if we recall, last week, Glenn took us through a few questions and he asked us categorically, what do we want in 2021? And he said, what were we willing to do to get what it is we want, right? And then he said, who are the people that could get us there? And what were we willing to do to interact with those people? But then on the flip side of that, and this was a curveball, he said, how about the people who are not going to get us what we want? Are we willing to let go of them, drop them like hot potatoes, because we want to get to our destination in 2021? So I'm not going to put anybody on the spot, and I'm not going to say, put your hands up if you answer those questions and if you have your answers written down in your journal or in your notebook. But I'm really, really hoping that we've taken the time out to think about those questions. Because if I take a step back, we know as every new year unfolds, most people start off with New Year resolutions, right? They kind of like say, oh, in this year, they want to do this, they want to go to the gym more, they want to be more fit, they want to go on a diet, they want to lose weight, whatever it is. They want to grow their business, they want a new job, they want a new house. The list is endless, right? But by this time in any given new year, I think I can safely say that almost 100% of those resolutions are quickly forgotten, right? I mean, it only takes the first 10 days of the year, I think, or even 14 days at best, for people to forget what they had said on January 1, January 2. But here we are, the 19th of January, 2021. We're more than halfway through the first month of the year. Before we blink, January is going to be over. And that leaves us technically with 11 months to go. But if we think that of those 11 months, once we hit Thanksgiving and all those key holidays, so Thanksgiving and then we get to Christmas, we're kind of like roughly going to lose another 2 weeks because people just kind of like naturally slow down, right, as we get into the holiday season. So if we're honest with ourselves, we've probably got active, right, 10 months that we can plow through 2021 and actually make those, the objectives we set, our goals, a reality, right, in 2021. And so for me today, it's about reminders. Are we going to give ourselves a fighting chance to get to the end of 2021 having achieved our goals, right? And so with those questions in mind, so Glenn's session last week and my session on the 30th of December, I think the title of it was Structure and Simplicity, or Simplicity and Structure, where I went through those questions. So if you weren't on the call, catch the replay of that session on the 30th of December and catch Glenn's replay of last week, Wednesday. And that will give you the context for today's session. And then we've just finished the book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And between chapters 2 and 4, he took us through a process of, thinking about the auto-suggestion, method or the actions you go through. And he said in your waking moments, just as you're coming out of sleep, that first half hour, 15 minutes to half an hour, dedicate that time to going through what it is you want to achieve. So say, for example, you want to hit a specific amount of money, and he actually says, write down, or at least in your mind, fix on a specific amount of money. So don't just say, I want more money, or don't just say, I want a healthy bank balance, or don't just say, I want to be out of debt, or don't just say, I want zero, overdraft, or don't just say, have a specific amount of money, right? And so when you start the process, just as you wake up or in those final moments before you go to sleep, he takes us through a few steps. So he says, start off with that exact amount of money, right, that you want to see, and put a date on it. So say, for instance, here we are in 2021, and I say to myself, I want, and this is just an example, right? I say I want £10,000 starting from February 2021, right? Now that's less than 2 weeks away, right? So that's the fixed amount, and I put a time frame on it. So I have the 10,000 as a fixed amount, and I have from February 2021, and that I want that amount of money coming my way every month from February 2021. So that's step one. But then step two is, and this is what Napoleon Hill says, what services are you willing to render for this exact amount of money? So now, once again, I've got to go through my mind and say, what is it that, one, I'm already doing that I know are income generating activities, or what are things that I could add to that list that will add to my income generating activities that would result in that amount of money coming from February 2021, right? Because there's no point reading the books. There's no point being on a general session if we're not going to put this stuff into practice. John's told us again and again and again that whatever we focus on expands, right? And so all of this learning, as iron sharpening iron, here we are, great minds, we're rubbing off each other, we're feeding off each other, we're getting better every day in every way, we're getting better and better, right? If we don't put these things into practice, we can't actually see ourselves getting better and better every day. It's one thing to read this stuff, it's another thing to actually action this stuff or implement the stuff. Without implementation, it's just words, right? We've read the book, we've forgotten about it, we've closed the book, that's it, it's on the shelf gathering dust, right? But if we don't put those things into practice, we're not gonna see the returns, right, of what we should be getting by putting these things into motion. So going back to that auto-suggestion example, so I've said £10,000 from February 2021. So I'm thinking every month, this is what I want. And then in terms of the activities I'm willing to do, for most of us here, it can be, I will work on my Amazon business. Not only will I have one launch product, but by the end of 2021, I will have 5 products launched or whatever it is. Or I will go down the replens route, or I would have my brand and I will extend my brand in 2021. It's got to be specific stuff to say, okay, I now have permission to sell in this category, and I'm going to launch quite a few products within that category, because these are things you can do that are income generating. So you started with that set income in your mind. You put a date to it to say from that date, you want to see that hits in your account every month. And now you're going through what you're actually going to do to receive it, right? Because if you just say that certain amount of money by the certain time without giving anything in exchange for it, like, okay, do you have a fairy godmother who's going to wave a magic wand and hey, presto, abracadabra, the money's going to appear? No, money is a medium of exchange, right? So you got to be giving something to get the money in return, right? So write down what it is you think you can do. Are you going to write a book this year? I mean, we know a few of us on this platform have written books. Ego has written a book. Virginia has written a book. Glenn Henderson has written a book. Shannon is in the process of launching her book. As we know, John has a book out, So let's think, are we going to maybe it's a small ebook, maybe it's a full-on book, whatever it is coming up for you, right? So launching a book can be another revenue stream that will add to that set amount by the date you want it to start kicking in, right? So go through stuff that you can do that will generate that income, because every little bit helps and everything adds together to get you to that amount of money. Right. For some of us, we still have our full-time jobs, right? So we can add the money we get from our full-time jobs to that amount Because once again, that's money coming in. Because what you're thinking is you want a set amount of money from a specific date, and you want that to be your reality every month, right? So once again, you add the 9 to 5 job in there. For anybody who's privy not to have a 9 to 5 job, that's brilliant. But for most of us, we still have that, right? So we can add that to the mix. And once again, we're getting closer to that target. What we don't want is to get to December 2021 with regrets. That is what all of this is about. So here we are, 3rd week of January. Most people, New Year resolutions are down the drain. They probably went on the physical activity to lose weight or go to the gym more or get fitter. They probably did it twice, 3 times, if that. And now it's like, oh, it's too cold. I can't be bothered to get out there. Oh no, I really don't feel like it. It's wet or it's rainy, or, oh no, I'm going to be running in mud and, I haven't got, whatever it is. Or maybe your accountability partner isn't really doing for you what you wanted them to do for you. There could be a whole myriad of excuses, right, as to why we're not doing what we had said come January 1 that we were going to do. But for us on this platform, it's a time to take stock. It's the 19th of the month. Let's not waste the month of January. Let's build momentum and carry on with that momentum so that come Q1, and we can evaluate ourselves at the end of Q1, just like companies do quarterly results. They present their operations and how they've done on a quarterly basis. We can do the same. On a quarterly basis, do a stock take, do a self-evaluation and say, between January 1 and 31st of March, what have I achieved in line with my goals, right? And one thing I will say, we need to write these things down. It's okay to do it in those moments before we drift off to sleep. It's okay to do it in the moments as soon as we wake up, but it's also something to have it written plainly, because once again, what we focus on expands. So can you imagine writing out those goals for 2021? And so for using this example, to follow on with this example, saying, £10,000 every month from February 2021. Can you imagine if I walked past that statement every day of my life? So whether I was on my way to the kitchen, or I was on my way to my car, or I was on my way to, put the laundry out, or whatever it was, I'm walking past that, board or wall or whatever it is. And every time I walk past, my eyes are naturally going to gravitate to where I've written this statement. So put it somewhere that you will see it plainly. I promise you this stuff works. And I'm going to give you a wacky example, right? I'm sure some of you remember last year, Ego said she went for a walk and she found some money, right? And then she went for a walk with her son and they found, I think it was probably a 20p coin. So probably a dime in the States or something, slightly more than that, or a quarter. And she said to her son, you better pick that up, right? Because you need to respect money, right? And she started saying something about money was attracted to her. And we've seen that play out in her life. Well, after that example, I think Therese also had, an aha moment where she found a purse and had money in it or whatever it was, right? I started saying that to myself after that session 3 times a day before I go to sleep. So before I begin the whole set amount of money by the date, I start off by saying, money is attracted to me. Money is attracted to me. Money is attracted to me. I say it 3 times. Sometimes I say it more, but minimum, I say it 3 times. Now, I kid you not. I hadn't been saying this for 2 weeks. I went on one of my daily hikes on a Saturday and I was coming back. And the first thing I found was a £5 note, right? Now, crisp, it hadn't been folded. It hadn't been bent. It had, the dog hadn't, chewed it up. It was like pristine condition, right? And it was just there lying on the grass. And I thought to myself, what? Like, does this really work? So I thought it was like fluke, like, or maybe just somebody was, had come back from the shops and they dropped their change or whatever it was. Anyway, I picked it up and I thought, interesting. Okay. But I carried on doing it regardless, right? 2 days after that, I was going for, I think I was going for another walk. And it was almost like, when you get out of your car and maybe you got stuff in your pocket and everything just like falls out and you like bend to like pick it all up. It was something like that scenario, because I could just imagine that somebody was getting out of their car and they had stuff in their pocket and it just fell out, right? Because I was walking, it was like a collection of coins, right? So it was like 20p and 50p and £1, but just like scattered all over the place. So anybody looking at me would have thought, what a nutter. What is she doing walking around picking up bits and pieces off the ground, right? But what I said to myself, I remembered Ego's thing to her son saying, it might be a coin, but don't disrespect money. It's still money. Pick it up. Because I'd actually like almost walked past it. And then I heard Ego's voice. And so I went back and I picked up every single coin, right? And now some of them were 2p's, 1p, whatever. But by the time I put it all together, it was almost £5. And so I thought, could this be? Could it really work? Could it be this easy, right? So that was my second experience. So anyhow, I thought, I'm going to carry on doing this. There's nothing to lose, right? So of course, now every time I go out, whether it's a run, whether it's a walk, I'm like, kind of like saying, and sometimes while I'm walking, I say to myself, money is attracted to me. Money is attracted to me. Well, one night I was coming back. I think I had gone for a super long walk because I didn't get to do a run that day. And so it was dark already. I don't know what made me look down, because I mean, usually when I'm walking at night, I'm kind of like looking head on because I don't want to like bump into anybody. I don't want to bump into anybody's dog, you know, whatever. And I just happened to look down, and I kid you not, it was a £50 note, right? Now I thought to myself, okay, there's no way somebody would have dropped 50 quid and not known they dropped 50 quid, right? So when I got home, I actually looked at it and I thought, this doesn't look real, right? And it actually looked like somebody had photocopied it or whatever, because I couldn't find, you know, the normal signs you see on a proper note and you just know. But I kept it and I said, you know what? It's a joke, maybe, but I've kept it as a reminder that money is attracted to me, right? So these were 3 instances, maybe in a space of a month, that these 3 things had happened. And I thought to myself, this is really weird, right? And then after that, I got random email from HR, and I think I shared this last week or the week before. HR sent me an email saying, oh, congratulations, you've been nominated for an award, blah, blah, blah. And attached to this award was a monetary value. Now, I didn't know I had been nominated for this. I wasn't expecting it. When I did the work, when I participated on the forum, I had no idea that anybody was watching or I was going to be evaluated or I was going to be nominated. I just showed up as myself, right? So now I get this letter and I get the HR director, you know, endorsing me for this, and it has money attached to it. And so I think I shared this last week and I thought, this is really strange. This money attracted to me thing really works. So I've carried on doing that, right? And these are just examples from my daily life. It's not like I am doing anything different apart from saying this before I fall asleep. That tends to be my time when I go through this. And I must just say to you, I mean, those are just examples, 4 examples that I can give of literally finding money on my walks. But I've had people contact me for speaking opportunities. I've had people contact me for consulting gigs. I mean, just name it, it's coming. And this is all money. So what I'm saying to us today is it's a reminder, this stuff works. Napoleon Hill didn't just write this book just for us to have, you know, a lovely time reading it and discussing it. If we actually put this stuff into practice, it works. And being the 3rd week in January, please, 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 let's go back to those questions from the 30th of December, from Glenn's talk last week. Let's put our list together. Let's write our answers. Let's keep them where we can see them. And let's see our dreams, our goals materialize in 2021. Right. So I've done this set amount of money, and I'm not going to tell you what my set amount is. I've put a date to it. And I've actually said, I have a list of 6 things that I'm willing to do in terms of providing services in exchange for this amount of money. And I kid you not, stuff is happening. I mean, it is bizarre, right? But this stuff works. I don't know if it's a repetition. I don't know if it's my subconscious has picked up on it. I don't know if it's the law of attraction, but whatever it is, I'm like, bring it on, right? I'm not going to stop now. There's just too much proof so far that this works. And maybe it's just, I don't know, somebody having a joke on me or somebody just wanting to see how long I'm going to do this for. But now that I've seen all this evidence, do you think I'm going to stop now? Hell to the no. I'm going to carry on, right? So I'm just saying to everybody, it's the 3rd week in January. Please, guys, let's go out there and make spectacles of ourselves. Let's not forget the messages behind these sessions. Let's keep at it. this stuff works. I mean, these guys did not turn their fortunes around like Napoleon Hill, etc., without putting these principles to work. Let's be a group of people that at the end of 2021 will say, whatever our goals were, whatever goals you have, it might not be monetary like me, but please, whatever it is, write it down, give it a chance to become a reality come December 2021. And that is what was going on in my head, and why Madam Chop Chop and myself have actually said we're going to do a quarterly, it's going to be a swap between celebrating our wins and fun facts, because I think we need these regular reminders so that we know that we're pushing for something. Those goals, those dreams, those objectives should not be on a back burner somewhere. They should constantly be front of mind. So at the end of 12th of February, we're going to have a celebrating ourselves, celebrating each other, celebrating this family moment, where we're going to come and say what we've done in the first 6 weeks of 2021. We're going to do this regularly, people. I'm going to keep reminding us, because all of us, we're not leaving anybody behind. We're all going to make it. We're all going to be successful. I think I know this platform was created for a reason, and we've all come so far, but we've got further still to go. So please, family, join me on this journey. Let's hold each other. Let's not break the chain. Let's keep it going. I mean, because it's just going to be phenomenal when we get to the end of 2021, and we just have so much to be grateful for, and we have so many wins to celebrate. I mean, I'm excited. I mean, if the few examples I've shared with you on this call are resonating with you, it works, people. I don't know what it is. I don't know what magic there is to it, but it clearly works. So please, let's do this. Let's make spectacles of ourselves, and let's make 2021 our best year yet. So on that note, I'm going to open up the floor and see who it is that wants to say something. If this resonates with you, it'll be great. If not, that's okay. But am I going to carry on doing what I'm doing? Hell yeah. I am going to carry on doing what I'm doing. Colleen, I see your hand up. You got the floor, girl.
Ivié, thank you so much for this session today. Your enthusiasm is vibrating off my screen, okay? It is vibrating. I can feel it. It's so like magnetic. So thank you. It's just amazing. It's wonderful. I'm so happy to hear the experiences you've had, and I look forward to hearing everyone else, throughout this year, share where they are, where they came from, and how everything happened, basically based off this conversation we're having today in January. I look forward to December, the catch up. It's just going to be amazing. It's phenomenal, because what you said is so true. You said that I don't know what it is, but it works. And you're right. It does work. It's been proven. And Stuart has actually touched on many subjects in terms of like the scientific reasons behind, frequency and energy and all these things. And without having the knowledge that we have now, yes, it used to be called woo-woo and magic and all those things, but we know now that we can actually see it. We can chart it. It's a formula, and the formula has stood the test of time, as I mentioned yesterday. What's really interesting as well is throughout the ages, people just didn't know what it was. They didn't know what it was, but they just knew that it worked. They knew manifestation worked. Many people call it prayer. It's all the same thing. It's like there's power in the tongue. Like the spoken word is powerful. Whatever it is we say, like thoughts become things, whatever we think about becomes matter. And it's real. Like neuroscience has actually proven this. When I was an officer, there were a lot of things that we had to do, a lot of systems we had to use, formulas we had to use. So it didn't matter how you felt that day coming into work. You can be in a bad mood. You can be feeling sick. It didn't matter what was going on with you. Once you use the formula, once you use the systems that was provided, the outcome remained the same. So it didn't matter what it is, like it didn't matter who was operating the machine. Didn't matter. What the formula did was give you the same result all the time. And I think this is what it is. This mindset is it's like a machine. So when you have that mindset, what people don't understand is you're actually tapping into a machine. You're using a formula. These are formulas that have been proven. And many people probably think, oh, well, it's probably too good to be true, or it's a bunch of wacky stuff. But it's not wacky stuff. It's not wacky stuff. It's actually real. People have already used it to create microscopes, or they've used it to create X-ray machines. It's the same technology. We're using frequency. We're using waves. We're using all these things. Your microwave, your cell phone, your television. These are all basically part of the same thing, the same technology. We've been able to harness that power. So human beings don't even realize that you're a lightning rod as well. You're a whole walking, talking lightning rod. And if you don't understand the power of you as a human being and what you're able to create from just deciding that I'm going to change my frequency. So despite the fact that it may seem like, okay, well, yeah, it seems too good to be true. No, it's actually real. It's actually real. And the experience that Ego had, yourself, and even other people, sometimes if you don't know, so for example, there are people who have come across things, but probably didn't even realize that you were channeling that frequency. So now that you're aware of the power of your energy and your frequency, you can start paying more attention to what you're doing, paying more attention to what you're focusing on. And since I've been in this meeting, I've actually had an experience as well where things have happened to me. And I said, as you said, Ivié, it's a fluke. It's not really happening, because we say these affirmations, but sometimes we don't really believe them. So when I initially started, I didn't really believe it, because I thought, what's going to make me so different? What makes me special for this to happen to me too? But it's true, because I've left Vodafone for over a year. And since I've started changing my mindset and thinking and saying the affirmations and saying money, I'm attracted to money, money is attracted to me, and those little words of just basically channeling that prosperity mindset, I got a letter from Vodafone. And after leaving them for a year, haven't had any correspondence from this provider. And then you receive a letter saying, oh, we actually checked our records, we owe you £50. And I said to myself, and let me tell you something, I've been with Vodafone for 7 years. I left them over a year ago. So out of the blue, you now realize that you owe me £50. So to me, it seems really simple, but it's not. Because it actually happens. There's no way I can even, and I feel like calling them to find out if it's even real. But as you said, I'm still going to appreciate the fact that these things are happening. Once you change your frequency, everything starts falling into place. It's a proven formula. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, courageous Colleen. I mean, yeah, I'm on your wavelength. I just love your energy. I love it when you give us, your thoughts and your takes on subjects and talks. It's just amazing. It hits home for me every time. And thank you so much for that endorsement. I'm gonna ask Nicola to take over the floor, and I'm actually gonna go show you the £50 note that I picked up, because I think you just need to see that this stuff is, and I'll show you how it was wrapped up on the ground, because sometimes what we want to see, or what we're expecting to see, may not come in the packaging that we expect it to come. And I'll show you another note that I found. So the £5 note was open and crisp, so it was easy to identify. But I found a 20 as well that was folded into a perfect square. Now, if I wasn't in that mindset, if I wasn't, expecting to come across something good on my run that day, I'd have walked past that square. It would have looked like a piece of paper. It would have looked like, tissue, whatever. But because I just knew what a note looked like, even though it was folded to a perfect square, I still knew that it was money. And when I unfolded it, it was a £20 note. So I will show you that. But Nicola, you got the floor. I am listening. I'm just going to go around my computer to grab the notes. So over to you, Nicola.
Wow, how do you follow you two? The energy is just amazing. Yeah, so I've kind of believed in this this kind of way of the world for quite some time, but this year I set some clear goals with affirmations attached to them about attracting money effortlessly to me. So I set a goal, and actually the reason I'm telling you this is it was an example which just materialized this morning, but it has just happened so fast. I'm just still blown away by it. So I had set a goal for January to earn, I've got 3 sources of income, so kind of 3 businesses. So for January to earn £1,000, and then I've got a plan for the rest of the year. And I thought they would come evenly from the 3 businesses. So I've kind of been investing my time across them all. But then out of nowhere, one of them is a property business, which is short-term accommodation, which has been pretty much dead across the entire lockdown. And then pretty much out of nowhere, a week ago, I had a guy get in touch with me who wants to book one of the properties for 3 months, and that would generate £1,000 income per month. So that was that goal achieved in the space of like 2 weeks. And I was like, wow, where did that come from? Didn't expect it to happen in that way. So I lay in bed a couple of nights ago. And I think one of the things that's really important is to show gratitude when it happens and to be thankful. So that went in my gratitude journal. And then I was just kind of lying back thinking, if it's just happened that quick, why would I stop here? Why do I not now ask for £2,000? So I asked politely for £2,000 from February. I woke up this morning to a text from, I've got a property in Spain, which has actually been completely empty since last April. So I had spoke to the guy who manages it to say, look, even if you can get a long-term let-in whilst we're going through this situation to cover my costs. So I paid £900 a month to keep that going. So he texted me this morning to say, I've got a Dutch couple who've just been in touch. They want to rent your property starting from now until the end of the year. Would you be interested? I was just like, so that is another £100 short, but another £1,000. So in the space of 2 weeks, that's £2,000 worth of income in ways I'd never expected, and a hell of a lot quicker than I could have ever anticipated. So it just shows the power of those affirmations. I've got 10, and I recite them every morning, every night. I've started a gratitude journal. I used to do it before, but I do it religiously now, thanking the universe for everything they've delivered to me that day. And I just think if you do that and do it with feeling and believe it, then to me, that's just completely showing the power of it.
Fantastic, Nicola. I mean, it's that saying it with feeling, power, believing, and just being polite about it. You're not making a demand, right? And I love that, because what I do is, apart from being definite about the amount and putting a time to it, and then listing the services I'm going to render in exchange for that exact amount, I've actually started picturing what I'm going to do with said amount, right? So one of the things is I was going to buy, a 4-bedroom home. And I kid you not, before I go to sleep, I pictured the 4-bedroom home, from the driveway to the patio to I know what the driveway is going to be made of, what it's going to look like, not tiles, but pebbles. I mean, I know where artwork is going to go. I know the color scheme of the, living room. I've done everything, right? And I go through this and I feel it. And I say to myself, it's a lovely home and I will entertain in this home. I mean, down to, I'm going to have a utility room where the washing machine and dryer are going to be. I'm going to have a pantry, everything. And I walk through every room in this house. I know exactly what it looks like from the outside. I say this, like you, religiously every day, right? And it's just amazing. I know it will happen. It just doesn't have a choice but to happen. And I'm glad somebody else is having the kind of experience that I'm having, that in 2 weeks, all the things you've said are already materializing. That is the power behind our words, people. It won't take very long. The universe will participate with you, will partner with you, will collaborate with you, and will give you signs, something to hold on to, and just keep you believing that this stuff works, right? And so, Nicola, thank you so much for sharing those wins, because I think we just need more evidence that this stuff really works. And so I said I was going to show you, right? So this was how I don't know if you can see this. This was how the £20 note was folded on the floor, on the ground. And people had walked past this exact note, right? They literally walked past it. And I just knew, I don't know how. I mean, I just thought, that looks like money. And so when I opened it up, that's what it was, right? £20 note, right? But everybody had walked past this note several times because it was folded like that. So when I say, the package, the way it comes may not be how you expect it to come because you'd have wanted it to be unfolded, but anybody would have seen it unfolded, right? So that's how it was on the road when I came walking past before I started my run, and I picked it up, and that was it, right? So that was one example. Now, this is the one that I said was a 50-pound note, and I'm going to show you how it was initially. So it was like that on the edge, like kind of like between grass and the sidewalk or the walkway. So that's how it was. And I just thought the color of it was strange. I thought, oh my God, that looks like money. And this was dead at night, right? It had gone dark already. And when I opened it, and this is the joke, this is what it looked like. Now, I'm sure you can tell that this is not real because it hasn't got, the silver stuff that you have, the foil on the inside, but still, it's got the Queen's face, it's got the 50. And then if you look at the top, it looks like someone's cut it. So it's like they've done a photocopy or whatever. But I held on to this it was just another weird and wonderful thing. But I just thought, if you just walk around with the mindset, it may not come in the packaging you want, but still, when I picked this up, I took this as a sign that money is attracted to me. So this may not be the real note, but the real thing's coming. And since then, I've got that award thing at work. That's multiples of 50, right? It's way more than 50, right? So I just wanted to show, just in case you thought I was making this stuff up, this is evidence. It happens, right? And I think sometimes we need to see to connect, because we can say anything we want on these, platforms, right? But I think when we see it for real, and so when you're walking now, you can say, okay, yeah, it may not come in the packaging, and you're more open-minded than you would ordinarily be, if that makes sense, right? So Evelyn, over to you, Madam Chop Chop.
Hey, Ivié. Hello, everyone. So with what you were just talking about, it's funny because this last week, no, 2 weeks ago, I received a check I had forgotten all about for money that I overpaid from when I fell and broke my foot. It was almost $200. So I don't know how I did that. If I receive an invoice, I'm assuming it's correct and I need to pay it, and I just paid it, and it was almost $200. They were mine to begin with, but it's money I was not expecting to be returned to me, and it's the power of thinking. Whatever we're thinking is going to come about. And the universe doesn't recognize, that this is good for you or this is bad for you. It's the thought you're putting out to the universe, what you're trying to drill on all of us. And some of us just don't get it, right? So catch yourself every time you're going to say something negative, turn it into a positive, and you will start seeing those results. For example, because of my broken foot, I'm very cautious when I'm walking, especially outside, and I wear mostly tennis shoes now. I don't wear high heels. And I have caught myself to stop thinking that I may fall, because it's like you're attracting that to yourself, right? But it's because of this group, it's because of the power of what we're thinking. So I'm saying that so somebody here needed to hear this. Somebody here may relate to what I'm talking about. Stop thinking that, oh, maybe, I'm going to get sick. Maybe if I continue doing this, I'm going to get that. It's reality. We need to take care of our health. We need to exercise. We need to work. We need to bring those things that will bring the money. Like you said, there is no little, magic wand that is going to make the money appear, but we will work towards, the good, positive things. The universe will not recognize that you asked for 1,000 pounds or only that you're going to get $1 of what you sold. You just got to put the right thought into it. With that being said, though, there was something I read today. It was posted 4 days ago in a group that I belong to, and I had not seen it. I've been pretty busy getting my next boxes going out to Amazon, and it really touched me. And I think that someone here may need this little nudge. And it says, if you really want your business to free you from your job or make a huge income, the solution is really quite easy. Just start. If you wait until everything is perfect, you will never start. If you're constantly researching, preparing, planning, you will not start. Find one product that is already being sold, you know where, our platform, Amazon, but it could be anywhere, right? It could be eBay, it could be any other platform, and buy a few, learn to list them, and ship them. There's a pretty good chance you will not make much money on your first few listings, but you're learning. Keep researching, keep changing things as you learn, but stay productive, stay focused on your goal, buying, listing, shipping, and making money. Taking weeks, months, or even years to get started because you don't feel ready probably means you will never be ready to just start. Guys, stop thinking about it. Just do it. That was it.
Absolutely.
Stop, right?
Thank you so much, Madam Chop Chop. Yeah, that's it. And and that's why I'm encouraging us all. If we haven't answered those questions, if we haven't written our answers down, let today be your reset button. Don't go to bed tonight before you've written your answers down. Be clear on what you want for 2021. Be clear on who's going to help you make it happen. And if there's anybody that's a naysayer, be ready to leave them in the lurch so you can move forward. Don't let anything hold you back. If you need us on this platform to be accountability partners with you, I am more than sure you will get more takers than you can do anything with, right? So let's reset. Let's answer those questions. Let's set those goals. Let's make spectacles of ourselves. Thank you so much, Madam Chop Chop. Emma, you're next.
Hi, yeah, I love this.
You're muted, Emma. We can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah, no, thanks for this topic. I think it was a really good reminder. It was even at the beginning of the year where everybody was saying, that whole thing of like imagining what you're wanting and where you want to get to. And then it was an interesting one because I got a tax bill for £236 and I was like, oh, you know how you get like depressed. And then I was like, right, well, I want something to come into my life that will pay for that tax bill. And then it was really interesting because about a week later, I then got a check through the post that was from a like a savings account that I did ages ago, and they gave you a bonus, and they said they'd miscalculated the bonus, and it was £235.50. So it was like, oh, it just brought back the faith of, when you ask for something, hopefully then you receive politely. But yeah, no, I love it. I love this topic. I just think it's great because, want that to happen for everything. So it'd be good.
Brilliant. Fantastic. And well done on that win. Well done on that check. And you could have responded to that tax bill a different way, right? You could have gone, oh my goodness, woe is me, blah, blah, blah. But you chose to put it out there and say, you know what? I don't know where that money is going to come from, but please send me the money to settle this bill. And you got the check, So once again, we have the choice on how we respond to stuff. So family, let's put this into action. I want to hear all your stories and what wins and what finds we're going to come across in 2021. Thank you so much for sharing that, Emma. Jane Akinyelu, you are next.
Hi, everyone. Yes, it's good to be back home. From what I've been learning on this group, I have been getting recognition in my new role at work because I've been bold enough to make a spectacle of myself. And initially, prior to that, I used to be a very shy person. Even if I know something, I just hide under the table and all that. But being bold to make a spectacle of myself, even if I don't know it, put up my hand. If I know it, I do speak up. It's really, really helped my confidence. I am blossoming within me that I know that something is actually changed. And I know that this year, 2021, is going to be the best year ever in my life. Yes. Secondly, I've had to go for a funeral urgently in Nigeria. My mother-in-law passed away to Boxing Day. And it was like, wow. And from change of mentality that I've received from this group. I had people just giving me gifts, you know, like before I'll say, oh, no, don't worry. And it's like, you know, like, just give me your account. And literally within a week that I just put a photo on my telephone screen and all that, I had £2,000, people giving me £2,000 to cover my head, to cover my ticket with my husband and some of the expenses that we went through there. But it was just the mentality of, you know, I wasn't rejected. I was just like really open to receive. And it was just amazing, the outpouring of love, and in different ways, in different forms, and in cash and kind, that really supported in a huge way the expenses that we had to go for. And that's as a result of all the support I've had from this environment. Thank you very much. And that's it.
Oh, you're welcome, Jane. And, you know, our condolences on your loss. It's never a good thing to lose a loved one, but we're so glad that you had people rallying around you while you went through that, and you had people giving materially to that. And so you were able to at least offset some of the burden, financial burden that you'd have had to carry as a result of the funeral and all of that. So we're just so glad to hear of your win. And this is it, right? Because we are becoming better versions of ourselves, the law of attraction is working, right? People want to be around us. People want to come to our rescue. People want to, you know, give towards us. People want to associate with us because we're just, you know, we're oozing the vibrations, the vibes that are coming off us are things that people need, right? Because everywhere else they look, it's not so great, right? It's not positive. It's a downer. It's negative. But then they encounter people like us from this platform, and they're like, oh my goodness, whatever you have, I want some of that. So Jane, I'm not surprised, because every time you speak now, your confidence is captivating, and we are just so pleased to see your growth. So thank you so much for sharing with us. My brother, Bill, so good to see you. So good to have you with us today. And as well, our hearts go out to you. We know your mom has gone on, but we just want to believe that you will hold on to the brilliant memories. So the floor is yours, bro.
Thanks, Ivié. Really good session. And some really, well, all of you have been really great speakers. First off, I'd just like to say thank you for all the support you have shown me through these times. It's very much appreciated, and it's quite amazing what a little message can do, never mind anything else, even if it's a smiley face. It makes a big difference. So thank you, everyone. Your message today is, I would nearly equate it to going back to the days when I would have went to church and actually felt something. It's arousing in the fact that it makes you want to get up and do something. I know that over this last while, I haven't been great at all upstairs in here for a number of reasons. Obviously, that was capped with the passing of my mum. And Jane, I'd just like to send you and your husband my love. I know what it's like. It's pretty rough. But I have to say that coming on here today, whilst I was nervous, I went on Nicola's slot earlier, which helped immensely. I don't think I'd have had the guts to come back on here without that. That positive thinking that she teaches gives me that strength. And what I've heard here today gives me even more strength, because I know I've let lots of the business side slip for a number of months now. What you've done is reinvigorate me to start thinking positively. I made a comment earlier on the chat, Ivié, about I'm going to rename you. You were only supposed to blow the bloody doors off, Barnabas. And for those of you who don't know, it's a very famous movie with Michael. What's his name, Adrian? Michael Caine. Couldn't remember his surname. Michael
the Italian Job, Bill. The Italian Job.
The Italian Job. So yeah, money. And that's why I put in the chat. Obviously, my mind has been thinking I'm going to attract all the crap of the day, and certainly it has been bestowed on me in heaps. So it has. So it's time for a turnaround. And it's only through this group I can say that that is going to happen. I just can feel that now, today. So thanks very much, everybody.
You are very welcome, Bill. Always, anytime. I've said to you, just get ready, because when I see you in person, I'm so going to pounce on you and give you the biggest bear hug ever. I mean, I'm counting down to the day, so just watch out. I might warn you, I might not. Just, yeah, be prepared. Thank you so much. Richard, you are next.
Great, thanks, Ivié. Just three short, quick thoughts that when you send your thoughts out into the ether, be sure they're positive thoughts and not negative, because what you put out is what you're going to get back. And just as an example, when President Nixon opened up China, went to China in 1972, I thought, geez, I'd like to go there someday. But I thought, how am I ever going to do that? Well, about 26 years later, I ended up being transferred from my company to a project near Beijing, and spent 9 months there over about a 2-year period. So not only did I go there, but I stayed an extended period of time and got to learn a bit about the Chinese people and a little bit about northeastern China. And a second thing is respect money. Just don't throw it down in your wallet, your purse. Get it organized, fold it nice properly, because money wants to be respected. And if you respect money, money will respect you. And the third thing is, when somebody offers you something, whether it's help or financial help, or I'll do that for you, accept it. Because if you turn it down, the attraction, the world will not necessarily provide that to you again. And in the long run, you might find out you should have accepted something, and your life would be better for it. And the people or the person trying to give that help to you will be grateful that you accepted what they offered.
Thank you.
Wow, fantastic. That is, wise words from Richard. Thank you so much. Yeah, we need to respect money. It's important. I like the fact that, even when you put it in your wallet, just don't squish it and tuck it in some corner, arrange it properly, right? And you're right. Be careful what it is. Our words are powerful. Like Carleen said, words are things, right? And they materialize, it's energy, and they're going to manifest whatever it is you're saying. So just make sure that whatever you're uttering, whatever you're thinking, is nothing but positive. It's a choice. We can choose, which way we want to go. Like Emma's example, when she got that, tax bill, she could have said, crikey, how am I going to pay this, right? But she just flipped it and said, whoever is out there, universe, whatever, send me, the money to pay this, to settle this. And she was, that was her focus at the time, and she got it, right? And she got more than she needed to settle the bill, right? So like you said, Richard, I completely agree with that. We really need to be respectful of money, and we need to be careful about the words we utter. So thank you so much for those capping points. I got Ingrid next. Ingrid, you got the floor.
Hi there.
Hey.
How's it going?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. This is a great talk today. I need some help because I feel a self-sabotage coming on.
Okay, you've broken up. I think you needed some help.
Self-sabotage coming my way, and I need someone to kick me for that, okay?
You'll be fine. No self-sabotaging. How can we help you?
Okay, so I made this goal that I wanted to earn X amount of dollars per month, and I have done that, except we're like the 19th of January instead of the 31st. So now I'm really nervous because I feel like, do I up my goal? Do I say, oh no, it has to be over several months? Do I help?
Well, John always says, that go big or go home, right? He says, don't put a manageable number. So if it helps, add a 0 to it, or double it, or multiply it by your favorite number, whatever, but make it outrageous, right? Why do you want to be reasonable? Make a spectacle of yourself. What's the worst that's going to happen? You don't hit it, but you'll be more than, the goal you set prior, right? So yeah, go for it. Just, let's see the universe participate and collaborate with you, right? So yeah, up the number. You got nothing to lose is what I'll say. I mean, I'll let family members, weigh in on that, but I would say don't limit yourself. Just go for it, right?
I'll just add something quick. One of the things I tend to do on some of my affirmations is I'll ask for something specific. So let's say £2,000, but I'll end the affirmation with or something better. So I'm not being really specific on what that something else is, but it's leaving it open-ended enough that if the universe wants to bring me more, I've opened the door for it to come.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely another way to do it. Definitely another way. Madam Chop, you got your hand up again. Yeah, you got the floor.
Yes, I did, because listening to Richard, I remember something I learned here in South Florida from Puerto Ricans, my friends from the beautiful island. And that is for women, never throw your purse on the floor. Never. That is disrespect to money. Always put it on another chair when you're at a restaurant or whatever. Always carry it crossbody or hang it on the chair, whatever it is, but never throw your pocketbook on the floor. They say that what you're doing is you don't care about money, you're throwing it on the floor, and that's how fast it's gonna go. So it's funny because I heard it once and I'm so mindful of that every time. And whenever I am out, to dinner, and if there is not a proper place to put my pocketbook, I put it across, crossbody, and I keep it on me all the time. So for the ladies, I know men, you guys are always have your wallet, in your pocket, so that's okay, or your money clip. But women, please respect money, love money, accept it more than anything. Ingrid, accept it. The success is yours, my friend. And we cannot wait to hear you play, by the way. We want to see that violin in your hands soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Chop. Bill, you're up again.
Yeah, I was just going to reaffirm what Kim put in the chat earlier. About if you dream small, God won't notice it. But if you dream big, He'll include you in the plan. Depends on who you believe in, obviously. But I couldn't agree more with those words that you got to dream big. So Ingrid, dream big. You dreamt about a violin a while ago, and apparently it's worked out. So go for it. Maybe you could own a whole orchestra.
Absolutely. Okay, so I don't see any other hands up, and we're 2 minutes away from the top of the hour. But I just want to say thank you to everyone. I was of two minds if I should do this as a general session. But after yesterday's talk with John, I think I just got the confirmation that I needed, that it was a good plan to go with this. And so I'm glad that this has resonated with as many of us as it has. I just want to say thank you for all your comments in the chat. This is one thing about facilitating sessions. You can't really type and respond to all the messages. But I remember Giovanna saying thank you again and again and again. And I can see Daisy and Carl and everybody else on Ego saying thank you in the chat. I want to thank you guys because you make it worthwhile. And what I just want to say is, guys, answer those questions. Let's put our goals up. Do the auto suggestion, steps. Let's make this real. Let's speak what we want into the ether, and let's see our goals and our dreams materialize. I mean, there's no better platform. There's no better group of people that I can hope and imagine and want to excel and succeed and be spectacles in their environments than this group, this family, because we've been on a journey together, and we're going to be on a journey for months to come, and so let's do this. Let's all arrive with lots to celebrate. Let's arrive with stories to tell. Let's impact our world wherever we are, right? So thank you so much, everyone. I'm back again in about 4 hours with Corporate Curios. So just in case you'd had enough of me, I've got another session today. But yeah, always good to see you guys. And if we don't see you in 4 hours, then we'll see you again tomorrow on a general session. Yeah, just a reminder, about the 12th of February.
The survey.
Yeah, Mandy wants us to remember the survey closes tonight. John has put it up in the JLSM members site. So it's right at the top. It's about the 4th or 5th thing down on the left-hand side. It's also on the Facebook page. So either or, but please, let's make our thoughts known so that we can gather that data and start planning for when we get together in person as a family. Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a good evening and see you soon. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Ivié.
You're welcome.
Ivié.
Thanks.